Hey there, this is Divya from Chalkboard Academy. Welcome to Class 10 Mathematics series, and in this lecture we will be taking real numbers. This is part 2 of this lecture. In this lecture we will be discussing about the part 2 of real numbers. We have already discussed some parts in previous video. So let's first have a quick revision of what we have discussed in part 1 of this chapter. So under that we have discussed about the real numbers, what are real numbers and what are its types like irrational and rational number, and under rational number we have discussed about integers, whole number, natural number, and within natural number we have discussed odd and even number, then prime and composite number, and therefore thereafter co-prime numbers, and then we have discussed about the Euclid division lemma, that is the way in which a number can be written, like a is equal to bq plus r, where r is remainder, q as quotient, and a is dividend and b as divisor. Then using Euclid's division lemma to find the questions and to find the HCF thereafter. Then now in this in this video we will be discussing Euclid's division lemma, questions based on Euclid's division lemma, and thereafter we will be discussing HCF, prime factorization, HCF and LCM. So and the fundamental theorem of arithmetic, that is composite numbers, and what are they. So and based on that some questions. In previous video I asked you that whether one is a prime number or not. So let's know what's the answer. No, neither one is prime nor composite number. Then I had another question which I asked you to answer in comment section, which is find the HCF of 726 and 275 using Euclid's division algorithm. So here we are going to do this. First, what we have to see, we have to check whether which number is greater, 726 or 275. So we can say see that 726 is greater than 275. So now we are using this Euclid's division lemma to calculate the HCF. So here A is equal to BQ plus R, in which A is 726, B, that is divisor, that is 275, and Q we will find out by dividing, and thereafter we will also find out the remainder. So moving forward, let's see, this is the whole division I have done here, in which you can see that first I have divided 726 by 275. So I have multiplied 726 by 2, then I got 550, and thereafter remainder left here was 176. Now I am dividing the divisor here with the remainder. Now while dividing, it can only be multiplied by 1, so that it is smaller than this 275. So thereafter, after doing this, I have got 99 as the remainder. Now this remainder, that is 99, we are using it to divide 176 again. Then again when I divide it, again I have to take only 99 multiplied by 1, because 99 into 2 is greater than 176. So here I get the remainder as 77. Now 77 I'm using to divide the earlier divisor, that is 99. Now while dividing I got the remainder 22. So now 22 is dividing this 77, and then I got the remainder 11, and earlier remainder was 22, or we can say the earlier divisor. So now we are using we are dividing earlier divisor by new divisor, that is 11, and it is completely divisible, and we got the answer as 0, that is r is equal to 0. So now putting that thing in the form of steps, first step is saying 726, which we were dividing here, is equal to 275 into 2, that is divisor into quotient plus remainder. First step. Now second step, where we are dividing 275. So 275 is equal to 176 plus 1 into 1 plus 99. Now Now new dividend is 176. So 176 is equal to 99 into 1 plus 77, that is the remainder. Now new dividend is 99 and 99 is equal to 77 into 1 plus 22. 77 from here, that is remainder here. And then again, now this has become new dividend and we have new remainder which is this 22. Now 77 is equal to 22 into 3, that is 66 plus 11. Now 22 is new dividend and it is divided by 11, and because 22 comes under the table of 11, so here we get 0 as remainder because here remainder is 0, so we take this B as HCF. Very easy question. I hope you all got cleared about this. Now based on Euclid's, we will be discussing some new questions. So here we have a question that is, show that any positive odd integer is of the form 6q plus 1 or 6q plus 3 or 6q plus 5 where q is some integer. So here we are taking any positive odd number. Remember, we are talking about odd number. So very first step is, what is Euclid division lemma? That is a is equal to bq plus r. Now we do not know what a is, but we know what is b, because every time here it is used 6q plus 1, 6q plus 3, 6q plus 5. So we are taking b as 6, and we all know remainder can only be formed when r is smaller than b. So r can be 5, r can be 0. So r is small, greater than equal to 0 or smaller than equal to 5. So we can say r is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we will be taking case 1 where r is equal to 0. So let's see, when we have taken r is equal to 0, then a becomes 6q. Now a is 6q, that is, it is positive. How? Because 6q, we have multiple, 6 is the multiple of 2 and 3, and 2 is what? 2 is even. So anything multiple of 2 is even. We have already discussed this part in odd even numbers. So when we put r as 1 here, then it becomes odd. How? Because we are adding something odd in the even number. If any odd number is added to even number, it becomes odd, and if odd is added to odd, then it becomes even. So here when we add 1, that is r is equal to 1, and when we add 3 or when we add 5, the resultant number formed will be odd, and in rest of the cases like 2, 4 and 0 we have already discussed, it will be even. So 6q is multiple of 2, so it's even, as I have already told, and r, if r is even, then the number becomes even. When r is odd, the number becomes odd. So any positive odd integer is in the form of 6q plus 1, 6q plus 3 and 6q plus 5. This was we were supposed to prove, and I have proved it here. Next question we have, again based on Euclid division lemma. Here you have to show the square of any number, positive number, is either in the form of 3m or 3m plus 1. Now again we will be taking same Euclid division lemma like here, and we are demonstrating, we are letting the number be a, which is equal to bq plus r. Now we know r is smaller than 3. Why? Because here we know b is 3m plus 1. So b is 3, then r can be smaller than 3. So we have r as 0, 1, 2. Now case 1 again, we have taken r is equal to 0. Now so we got a is equal to 3q. Now we have a is equal to 3q, and because in question we were asked to square of any positive integer. So this is the positive integer, a is the positive integer, so we are squaring it. So when we squared it, so what we got here is a square is equal to 3q square. Now we did squaring both sides. So a square is equal to 9q square, because we were supposed to represent it in the form of 3m. Now we have taken common 3 and the left out is 3q square, which we have taken as m. So here m is equal to 3q square. So a square is equal to 3m. So we can say that odd number, square of any positive number can be 3m. Now case 2, where we are taking r is equal to 1. Now here again same number, but here we have 3q plus 1. Now we are squaring 3q plus 1, so we will be using this identity which we have studied in our previous classes like 7th or 8th and then in 9th as well. So a plus b whole square is equal to a square plus 2ab plus b square. Now here a is 3q and b is 1. So what we get, 9q square, squaring of 3q is 9q square, then 2ab, that is 2 into 3q into 1. So it becomes 6q, and then we have b, which is 1. Square of 1 is 1. So we got this answer as a square is equal to 9q square plus 6q plus 1. Now from 9q square plus 6q we can simply take common. So here we have taken 3 as common. So now we have 3q square plus 2q as the term which we are considering as m. So we again got 3m plus 1 here. Hence proved that square of integers is in the form of 3m plus 1. Now we will take case 3 as well, because r can be taken as 2 as well, because we know r cannot be greater than 2. So here we have taken r is equal to 2. Again format of number in the lemma. Then we have we are squaring these two sides. Again using same identity, a plus b whole square is equal to a square plus 2ab plus b square. Now after squaring, we will get this equation, that is 9q square plus 12q plus 4. Here we are not getting 1. So what we can do is we can split this 4 into 2. How? Let's see here. So we have split 4 into 3 plus 1. Now this whole term has 3 in common. So we have taken 3 common and the left out in the bracket, and this left out is called m here. So we got a square is equal to 3m plus 1. This was what we were supposed to prove. So from equation 1, 2 and 3, the square of any positive integer is in the form of 3q or 3q plus 1. Now again we have another question. This is to prove that the cube, we have done one as a number, then we have done a square, and now we are doing cube. Cube of any number is in the form of 9m, 9m plus 1 and 9n plus 8. Again we are taking a number, that is a is equal to bq plus r. Here b is 3 because we are taking cube. So we do not need to make, and 9 cannot be written in the form of cube of any whole number. So we are taking b as 3 because square of 3 can be written as 9. And then we have q, we do not know. Then we have r, which can be smaller than 3, that is r can be 0, 1, 2. Now again we will take 3 cases. First case where r is equal to 0, then a is equal to 3q. After cubing we will get this, a cube is equal to 27q cube. Now from 27 we can take common 27q cube. We can take common 9 and we will be left with 9 in bracket. We will have 3q cube. So a cube is equal to 9 within bracket 3q cube. So a cube is equal to 9m, where m is equal to 3q cube. Now we have case 2 where r is equal to 1. So we have this division lemma as a is equal to 3q plus 1. So because in question we were asked about cube, so we are cubing both sides. Now we have a cube is equal to 3q plus 1 whole cube. Now we have to do the cube of this whole equation, that is 3q plus 1 whole cube. For that we are going to use this identity, that is a plus b whole cube is equal to a cube plus b cube plus 3a square b plus 3ab square. So by putting value in this identity we get 27q cube. B was 1, so it's 1 cube is equal to 1, so it's plus 1 plus 3 multiplied by 9q square multiplied by 1 plus 3 multiplied by 3q multiplied by 1 square. By solving further we get this equation, that is 27q cube plus 1 plus 27q square plus 9q. Now here we can simply see that all the terms with q as variable, we see that all three are multiple of 9. So we are taking them together as 27q cube plus 27q square plus 9q, and then 1 is separated from the whole from this whole equation. Now from this part we are taking common 9, and then we are left with 3q square q plus 3q square plus q and plus 1. Now in this part we will consider this whole term, that is 3q cube plus 3q square plus q as m. So we get the expression as a cube is equal to 9m plus 1, where m is 3q cube plus 3q square plus q. Now we have another case, that is case 3, in which we will take r as 2. So here the equation becomes a is equal to 3q plus 2. Now again we are doing same steps like cubing both sides. So here we will, after cubing both sides, we will get this expression, which is 27q cube plus 8 plus 54q square plus 36q. So out of these four terms we will separate 8 and will write other three terms together, in which we can simply see that we can take 9 as common, that is 27 is actually multiple of 9, that is 9 into 3, 54 is also multiple of 9, 9 into 6 is equal to 54, then we have 36q, that is again multiple of 9, that is 9 into 4, that is 36. So we have taken 9 as common, so we again got the expression here, and which is 9m plus 8, where m is 3q cube plus 3q square, where m is 3q cube plus 6q square plus 4q. So we have again proved the statement which we were asked in the question. So for equation 1, 2 and 3 we can simply say that any positive integer, cube of any positive integer can be written in the form of 9m, 9m plus 1 or 9m plus 8. So moving forward, let's look into another concept. Here we are talking about the composite numbers or prime numbers. So here the fundamental theory of arithmetic states that every composite number can be expressed, that is factorized, as a product of primes, and this factorization is unique and hence called as prime factorization, apart from the order in which the prime factors occur. So let's see, we have this example here. We are taking simplest example, which is the multiple of two smallest prime numbers like 2 and 3. So 6 is multiple of two prime numbers. So composite number is the multiple of two prime numbers. This is what this statement talks about, that composite number is the multiple of some prime numbers. It can be multiple of two prime number, it can be multiple of three prime numbers, and so on. Like we have 120. So for doing this we can do prime factorization. Now what is prime factorization? Prime factorization means we are factorizing the number, that composite number, into different numbers by dividing it by prime numbers. So here is the example. Look into this. We are dividing 120. So the smallest prime number we have is 2. So we are dividing 120 by 2. So we got 60 here. Then again 60, we see the last, the end of the unit place of this number is also even, that is 0. If the number at unit places is either 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, then it can be divisible by 2. So we are again dividing it by 2. So we got 30 here. Again we can say that it can be divided by 2. So again we divided it by 2. Now we got 15. We know 15 is not divisible by 2. So we are moving upward for bigger number. So here we can see that we have divided it by 3. We know 15 comes under 15 is actually the multiple of 3. So 3 multiplied by 5 is equal to 15. So we have divided 15 by 3. So we got the result as 5. Now 5 can be divided by 5 by 1. So these are the numbers which are multiplied together to form 120. So prime factorization, we have factorized the numbers into prime numbers. So we can write it as 120 can be written as the multiple of these prime factors 2, 2, 2, 3 and 5. Now we should know about LCM. What is LCM? So LCM is actually least common factor. So what is least common factor? So it means that when we are comparing, when we are talking about two numbers, whatever number which are common in these two numbers will be considered ones. So let's see how we can find out LCM by using prime factorization. So here we are taking example of 120 and 150. First, both the two numbers are divisible by 2 because the end, the unit place of these two numbers have 0. Now we have divided, so we got 60, 120 divided by 2, that is 60, 150 divided by 2, 75. Now we can simply see that now they are not divisible by 2. So we will not divide it further because we will only divide them by the numbers through which it can be divided. Both the two numbers can be divided here. So here now we are seeing for 3, either 60 is multiple of 3 or not. For that we have a rule that after adding all the digits in the number, if that number is divisible by 3, then it is divisible by 3. So 6 plus 0, that is 6. 6 is divisible by 3. Yes, it is. Then 60 can be divisible by 3. Now looking at 75, again we are looking whether they are divisible by 3 or not. So 7 plus 5, that is 12. 12 is divisible by 3. Yes. So 60 and 75 both are divisible by 3. So we are dividing it by 3. When we divided 60 by 3, we got 20, and when we divided 75 by 3, we got 25. Now both the two numbers 20 and 25 come under the table of 5. So we are dividing it we are dividing these two numbers by 5. So 5 4s are 20. So we got remainder here 4 questioned here. Then we have 5 5s are 25. So here we got questioned. Now instead of doing further, we can simply leave this question here and can multiply these numbers together to get the LCM. Now we will have all the numbers which were common. These three numbers were common in this in these two numbers, and they are used only once, and rest of the number were already unique in these two numbers, so they are also used once. So now this is actually LCM. So we can write that LCM is equal to 2 into 3 into 5 into 4 into 5. So by multiplying we got the answer as 600. Moving forward, we have LCM, HCF, which is called highest common factor. As the name suggests, we are talking about common factor. So we will see the common between the two numbers. Like we are taking same numbers here, that is 120 and 150, and same type of prime factorization we have done. So I'm not explaining how I did it, as we have already discussed in previous slide. So instead of multiplying these numbers, what we are going to do, we are just multiplying this number, because these are the numbers which were present in both the two numbers. So the highest common factor, or HCF, for this 120 and 150 is 30. How? 2 plus 3 into 2 into 3 into 5, that is 30. 5 into 2, 10, 10 into 3, 30. Now moving forward, let's see the relationship between LCM and HCF. So by equation we have a relation. Here we are taking A and B as two numbers. So LCM and HCF of two number is equal to product of these two numbers. So we can simply say by equation LCM into HCF is equal to A into B. Now we will be using these concepts which we have just discussed to do some questions based on LCM and HCF. So here is the first question. Find the HCF of 96 and 404 by prime factorization method, and then find the LCM. So first we will find out the HCF, and we can simply do LCM by multiplying, which I have already explained, or we can put in this equation to find the LCM. Both are feasible method and both are easy. So first find the HCF of 96 and 404. So here we have written 96 and 404. Now because the unit place of these two numbers are even, so we can simply divide them by 2. So we have divided it by 2, them by 2. So when we divided 96 by 2, we got the question as 48. Then 404, very easy number. So after dividing we got 202. Now again we have both the two numbers are still even. So again we are dividing by 2. So we got 24 and 101. Now further we do not get any number, because see 4 plus 2, that is 6. 6, that means it is divisible by 3. But 101, 1 plus 0 plus 1, that is 2. So it is not divisible by 3, and so on. We can check further. So they are not divisible. So we have HCF, which is actually highest common factor, that is 2 into 2. So we got the answer 4. Now to find the LCM, we can multiply this 4 with this 24 into 101, or we can do it by using LCM into HCF is equal to A into B. So LCM into 4 is equal to 96 into 104. Here, because this is multiplied on left hand side, by taking it on right hand side it will divide. So first I am going to divide. Why I am going to divide? Because this is a very easy number. So we will get 101. Now it's very easy to multiply anything in 101. What will be the answer? 96, 96. 9696. So LCM is 9696 and HCF is 4. Now I have a question here. Express each number as a product of its prime factorization, which we have already discussed. So here I will do this part of the question, and you will be doing this part of the question, and write the answer in the comment section. So let's begin. So here I have written 140. Now because it is even, I am dividing it by 2. So I got the answer as 70. Again even. So again divided by 2. So I got 35. Because at the end, that is at the unit place, I see 5. So I can simply divide it by 5. So I divided it by 5. 5 sevens are 35. So I got answer as 7. 7 is only divisible by 7. So answer is 1. Divide it till you get 1 as the answer in the quotient. Then, so writing it as a product of prime factors, so it is 2 into 2 into 5 into 7. Moving forward, another question. Find the LCM and HCF of following pairs of integers and verify that LCM into HCF is equal to product of two numbers. Again here I have taken two examples, two parts of this question, and I will be doing first part and you will be commenting the answer for second part. No need to prove there, just find out the LCM and HCF there. So let's begin with the part 1 of this question, that is 26 and 91. Here I will find out the LCM and HCF, and then we'll prove LCM into HCF is equal to product of two numbers. So the first part is HCF. So for that I am doing prime factorization, like I have written 26 here and then 91 here. Now both the two numbers are part of 13 table. So simply 13 twos are 26 and 13 sevens are 91. So the HCF here becomes 13. Now to find out LCM, I have to simply multiply this 13 here with these two questions. So 13 into 2 into 7. So the answer becomes 182. Now I have LCM and HCF here. Now I have to prove LCM into HCF is equal to product of two numbers. So for that, let's see. Now LCM into HCF is equal to A into B. LCM we know 182, HCF is equal to 13. So 182 into 13 is equal to 26 into 91. After multiplying these two numbers, we get 2366, and after multiplying 26 and 91, again we get the same answer. So LHS is equal to RHS, hence verified what we were supposed to do here. This was all. Here I conclude part 2 of this lecture. Now we will have part 3, under which I will be discussing some more questions related to LCM and HCF, and then composite numbers, and thereafter we will do irrational numbers, where we will discuss how to prove certain irrational number is an irrational number. Then we will have rational numbers and decimal expansion. Here we will see about terminating and non-terminating numbers. That's all for today. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, then don't forget to subscribe.